Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas is McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah.
There we go. Everyone's unmuted.
How's everybody doing?
There we go.
Good, how are you?
Welcome. Sorry for the late start. We had some technical difficulties being in two different locations, but I think hopefully everything sounds good to everybody. I can hear you guys.
What up, Tim?
Can you hear me? All right, cool. Thanks, Niles, for joining and keeping the two microphones going there. And I'll add whatever I can. Looks like we got some people in here. So you guys, I don't even look at the chat. Can they hear us okay?
I think so.
Yeah, looks like it.
All
we
right.
can hear you, and hopefully you can hear us.
Well, good. So we are, of course, just a reminder, we're recording this as a podcast as well. So we'll go live tonight on your favorite podcasting platforms. So be sure to check that out there. If you're checking the podcast, check that out live on YouTube. So, all right. How's it going there in Salina, Kansas?
Looks like another storm's rolling in.
Oh, tonight?
I don't know. There's head clouds coming in.
That's not good. Well, we missed the tornadoes, I heard. I guess tornadoes came through Kansas. Right? You got hail. That's what I heard. High winds.
Yeah.
I guess was there some tornadoes that touched down? And
Yeah, out in my neck of the woods.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Yeah, out in Gypsum.
Oh.
So
Man, you're in tornado territory.
I am. Yeah, it's pretty high wind territory out there.
That's one thing about moving outside of Salina is you're out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
He's got that trees all the way around him though, so hopefully that blocks some of the wind.
That doesn't stop tornadoes.
Hey, hold on a second. I need to get a drink. So anyway, okay. So for those that don't realize it and watch last week, I am in Georgia, as it says there on mine. So I am at a conference, a very unorthodox conference. Most of the conferences you think if you go to, everybody's in conference rooms with chairs facing forward, and you got a speaker and a PowerPoint and everything. This one's very unorthodox, and it's actually at a camp, Blue Ridge Camp in Georgia, Clayton, Georgia, I think. And it's very unique. It's different. It's getting you kind of disconnected from the phone and just making those engagements and learning a lot from people that want to share. So it's pretty cool. So some of those conferences you go and some of the vendor speakers will be speaking. So they won't give you all the information, all the tidbits, but this and here, they want to share and help each other out. So it's really fun. It's a good one. So, and I just got done speaking about an hour and a half ago. So just enough time to eat dinner and then back on a video.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that's why we're here on two different screens. So hopefully everybody's doing good.
All right.
Yeah, Tim doesn't have the studio on the go. Nope. I need to get that backdrop and just like get a whole thing.
Get a copy of the backdrop.
Yeah, that's what I need. Anyway. All right, but Sarah and Niles are holding down the fort. So if my internet goes out, like I think it might have just now, I don't know. Anyway.
Either way, I'm here.
If I freeze on you, we got the scheduling notes pre-recorded. There really aren't a lot of dealer news for this week at all, but I do hope that it works well enough because I do have a fun topic I really want to talk about that I think is some valuable information for people when it comes to ordering those specialty vehicles and how that really works. So anyway, so there you go. So we'll cover all that. What else we got? I don't have my notes up, Sarah. You get the notes up? Make sure we cover everything.
I know we talk about the weekend next.
Yeah. So what all did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? Nothing. I sat around the house, sent my kids to your house for a little bit while I was there, but
Yeah. Kids came over Saturday night.
I relaxed. I enjoyed the nice stormy weather.
Yeah.
I had fun. It was nice. What about
Yeah,
I did a bunch of chainsawing.
you?
Yeah. Yeah. Did a bunch of chainsawing. Had the trailer hooked up to the side by side, and we just kept chopping and stacking and chopping and stacking.
Right. And you?
Yeah, Sunday I just pretty much got ready for this week. So, because I had to leave at like 5 a.m. to hit my flight and everything and out of Kansas City. So, pretty much it. So, yeah, Saturday, I getting ready for the weekend because I recorded the Maverick Monday video on Saturday. So, I had to work on that. So, yeah. So, anyway, which if you guys haven't chance, that's what we usually talk about next, probably. I don't know. Videos that we had went live. So Maverick Monday, I'm selling my 2023 Maverick Tremor. And so I did a walk around on it, kind of dirty. I need to get it cleaned. So that video went live yesterday. If you're interested in buying it, I mean, I think like KBB private party is like 38 for it, a 38.4. But I said in the video, I kind of put it on there that I'm trying to sell it for 36. So a good deal for somebody. The Tremor, it's only got 5,000 miles on it, but there we go. That is up for
With
sale.
additions to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's not figured into that 38. So you figure in that, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. So anyway, yeah. And then Anthony says, "Are you getting the mach-e?" Probably not. So I just at this point, we're really enjoying those trips. We went to Supercell, and we want to do more off-roading trips, going to Colorado, do some other things, and it's hard to. Those trips cost money, and so we're just opening up our budget to be able to go on more trips and spend, and we need money for those. So anyway, so I probably won't get the mach-e. So anyway. All right.
Where would I find the schedule?
The schedule for what?
For tonight.
Oh, it's under the. I don't know. Did I share it with you? Anyway, I got it. We got it here. I know what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't forget the different channels we kind of support. I watched Johnny's Car Cam Reviews. I actually more listened to it on the way to the airport. He was on and he had some really insightful things. There's some things that came out on Maverick that he talked about, and I'm sure people might ask us later about the midgate. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but the midgate. And then today, I think Ford Authority posted some images of they think is the grill of the ST. And when you really look at it closely, there's no grill there. It's just not. It looks like it's a grill going up and down, and if you actually look, it's just something fitting in the hole. There's no grill. So I think they're allowing for airflow so they can really see how well it performs, and getting as much airflow in. So I think the grill is actually removed, and they just put something in its place. So anyway, we can talk more about that later, but some interesting stuff there. So I don't know, maybe sometimes that stuff gets leaked out there, and then hopefully pretty soon we'll be seeing some information on the Maverick. So anyway, what else? And then I think I don't have any other videos for this week. And then the video we talked about, what we talked about last week, the Lightning and the mach-e ordering. Mm-hmm. Or how that works. We talked about that last week. That one is a separate video for people looking for that kind of content too. So anyway, here we go. What else? Yeah, and then the other, and then don't forget All Train Nation. I actually didn't watch it last night. I was at a reception, so I wasn't able to watch that. So I need to go back and watch the recording. But yeah, watch all those, and yeah. Anyway, all those channels are down in the description. Check them out. Go over their channels and say hi.
Yeah.
What's in Tim's cup?
If you remember, please drop the cup emoji in the chat right now.
once
Oh,
in
yeah.
this. So
My
I'm at
favorite thing.
Liberty. So we're at this camp. So they basically we're staying at this nice little like lodging area, and then they bus us over to the camp every morning, and then they actually have programs. I'm at the camp right now. They have programs all night, and then the bus heads back at like 10 o'clock at night. So you're there all day, and so you're at liberty of food and beverages at the camp. So luckily, like there's actually some people this year. Last year's the first time they did this. So and I was a speaker last year, and then again they asked me to come back this year, so I must have done a decent job. And so this year it's like enhanced. So now they actually have a coffee bar. So this is a coffee with some cream in it. And then they're also a vendor that actually it's a snack cabin basically. So the cabin is you go in and there's just snacks just lined up for people that are wanting snacks and beverages and cokes and everything. So and then the vendors will have cabins to go sell their products. So we go and check them out. We do a scavenger hunt, go to each of the different cabins. It's kind of fun. It's a different setup and I really like it. So definitely I'd go to this verse. I've been going to Digital Dealer the last couple of years and I shouldn't say that this is better than it, but it is.
Well, Tim, they've got snacks, so clearly
They've got snacks. But yeah,
Clearly
and
better.
yeah, it's just the concept around it of it's more of a community and helping each other become better, and so that we can. And the whole purpose is become better, so dealerships can be better, and so that makes it better for the customers. So the people that are here are they're trying to not, it's not about selling more cars or whatever. It's about creating a better experience, whether it be online with video at the dealership, keeping and retaining salespeople, how to recruit good salespeople that will take care of your customers, that kind of stuff. So it is, yeah, it's definitely, these are the good people at dealerships. These are the good dealers are the ones that are like here and want to be better. And so it's it's a lot of fun. So
That's good
plus it's
stuff.
kind of a camp style. So it's kind of like you're almost kind of like getting away from the dealership. It's almost like a little retreat. So
That's cool.
which is fun too. So anyway, all right. I just saw is VTech in the chat here?
He is.
Did I send you that article, right? I emailed you that article. Can you put that article link in the description in the chat there? We're gonna put it on the link in the video too. So VTech was featured in an article with his Maverick. So that was pretty cool. So
And then Jim Farley gave him a shout out.
yeah, so
On
that's
what was
pretty
it,
awesome.
Twitter, I think? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty
He was
awesome.
saying, I hope that it was real. And yeah, that's his actual official account.
Yeah.
So yeah, he shouted you out.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, go read that. We'll pop that article, that link in there. I think I emailed it to you, but let me look at my sent stuff and see if I can pull it out. Here it is. Yep. There. I'll get that dropped in there. So there you go. So there it goes. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, check that article out, and
that's cool.
Yeah. So that is in the chat. We'll drop it in the comments of the video too. So if you're watching this recorded, you guys can click on the link. We'll get that added to the at the end and to the notes and to the description of this video. If he doesn't mind, of course, we'll get more people to look at it and everything. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see what else. Yeah, we'll get it posted in the Discord too. I'll let Sarah knows that. All right, so let's see what else we talk about. The membership.
Yes.
Sarah, you want to talk to them about that?
Yeah. You got the banners or the things?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you would like to become a member, it is the join button right there by the subscribe button. When you click on the join, it will give you all of the benefits you get as being a member. Now, if you're an iPhone user, we thought it was fixed, but that's if you have a newer iOS device that has been updated. So if you're an iPhone user, you go to your desktop browser, go up to the little A and big A in the link, and request desktop website. At that point, you should be able to see it. Yeah, I found that out last week
Cool.
after we did it.
Yeah, and then you can see all of our content, in the membership area, but you can also see it on the homepage too as well. You should be able to see that there, and you'll get email notifications that they went live as well. So we do the member live on Friday at 4 Central, and then a lot walk on Saturday, and then and then also don't forget to fill out the Google Doc.
Yes.
We might need to post that like almost every week, but anyway.
It's still the top thing right now.
Oh, is it? Okay. So fill that out so we can send you a nice little welcome packet as well. So it's only $5 a month if you want to join. If not, it's not the big deal. We're not asking people to necessarily do it. We're just saying that's available if you want to. So yeah.
We have a member live, a member walk.
Nailed it.
What else do we do? Oh, member shout outs. Should we get into that?
Yeah, we do member shout outs.
All right. I have a lot of members in here tonight. Let's see. We have Mabsim. Hello, everyone. I'm sure Niles Ridley is waiting for What's in That Cup to become an official segment with a slide.
It's already an official segment. It's already got its own emoji. You just got to be a member and click it in the chat.
And he has been a member for 12 years. Months.
12 months.
It's been a long week.
It's Tuesday.
Long day. How about that? I'll give you that.
Sure. We also have Ghost staying in here. Steve Young, doing great. Let's see. Art Quibido, hope you are safe this stormy Tuesday evening. Best wishes are with you. Donald Rash, hello from Delaware, everyone. Mike M, hello. Richview, Long McArthur, hope all is well. We also have Bucko. Good evening, everyone. Brian Foster, good evening, everyone. Looking forward to the live stream. Some of these are from before. We also have Ridgeview, our wonderful moderator, who welcomes everyone into our chat, saying, folks, see y'all soon. Anthony, good evening, everyone. Gino, hi, Rowdy at Niles and Calm at Ridgeview.
Very true.
Yep. We have Alan, evening all from Springfield, Illinois. We're on Route 66. We have, I think I just said that, but do you have root beer in there?
Nope.
Okay.
Not root beer.
We have Donald, what's in Tim's cup, and we already got that one.
Also not root beer.
We have Midcoast, Maine. Howdy, all y'all from the northeastern USA. I'm learning to speak Southern. My nephew is coming from Texas next month.
Oh, heck yeah.
Brandon Erkey, happy I received my Bronco 2-door Heritage manual May 1st. Man, it looks sharp. That sounds sharp. What color? Douglas Blair. Yeah, Douglas Blair. Thousands in add-ons, a great truck, an amazing deal. Spread the word. Share the video for Tim's truck.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple of people reach out to me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So
let's see. We have Mike M, who's been a member for 29 months. Think I'm going to trade my Mav FE for a Bronco Big Bend. Is the Big Bend on Long McArthur website for sale or a customer order? Probably not buying yet, though. The Big Bend on Long McArthur's website, I believe, is for sale.
So yeah, if it's on our website, it's in transit, that is a stock. That is not a customer order.
Mm-hmm.
Our customer, I know some dealerships have that set up that way, but I know how to go in there and I've set up the parameters to where for us, if it's a custom order, it does not show up on our website unless they don't take it, and then it becomes an in-stock vehicle. But the ones that are in transit on our website are stock ones. So
yep. We also have Rushman watching on streaming tonight away from the keyboard.
There you go. And I think
hello to all of the other members who are watching but not chatting.
I think our Quibido asked where in Georgia. So it's like right on the border between Georgia and Tennessee. So I was in front of the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, and this is just over the border in Georgia. So I think it's in Clayton, Georgia. Anyway, so I get to see on my Instagram. I actually posted a picture, and it looks like I'm in like Tennessee. That's how close it is, though. So it's gorgeous. So a little foggy versus last year, or 2 weeks ago. So wish I had the Bronco with me.
Bronco. Hey everyone.
All right.
All right. Welcome to everyone. Oh, did we introduce you?
I'm Niles.
He usually moderates from home.
Yeah, I technically am a moderator, even though I work here.
You are our aftermarket specialist who helps with all of our aftermarket needs.
I do that, and I also happen to help with intro.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a picture. He took that picture that's on the wall behind you.
Yeah, this is my road actually going to my house right there.
They can't see the road. They can't see the road.
Yeah, I'm probably in the way of it. Sorry.
No, it's too far down.
It's too far down. But yeah, so that's pretty cool.
See, everyone gets to see your picture. My picture's over there.
It's
our newest TV commercial has most of his drone footage in it.
Yeah, actually the last TV commercial is all my drone footage.
Yeah. So yeah, and you won't find that on a YouTube channel, but I can always share the link to it.
I was gonna say I could drop it in the Discord.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is Tim's second year at this location.
Yeah, this is the second year at this. So here's how this happens. So this one here, the speakers are actually invited. So there's a lot of conferences where you like, hey, if you want to become a speaker, you submit to be a speaker and you go through the whole thing. You got to give your your criteria, like what you're going to speak on, all this stuff. Sometimes you even do a little video. The way this is called Dealer Knows, which they're consultants for dealers. They actually reached out and they actually went and sought out people in the different parts of the dealerships, whether it be sales and marketing, whether it be like this one's video marketing and that kind of stuff. So last year, there's a person who was supposed to do video. And so let me go back a little bit further. So they have two different things. So we have 3 speakers on video, one each day. And the first day is the trailblazers, the ones that usually are dealership people that are just, they're doing something unique and different and such like that. So, that's kind of pretty much what I do. Well, last year they had somebody plan for this and the person backed out like 1 month or something before the camp. Mm-hmm. And this person put it out on social media and said, hey, you guys know anybody that could do video? My person backed out. I need somebody real quick. And he said a bunch of people recommended me out of it. So then he got a hold of me and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So it's pretty low key and it's no slides, again, no presentation. So it's really hard to do something on video and not show video examples. So there's no slides, I can't do anything. So but I could just talk about what we do and that kind of stuff and how they can do what we do. So, so I was invited last year and then I was invited again back this year. So, so he, that's pretty cool. So that's saying something. And so it's fun. So tomorrow we'll dive more into, so the video marketing group is me and another guy. Actually, his name is Tim James, who's been in the industry for a long time. And we use their platform, Flick Fusion. And he is speaking, and he's actually taking what I spoke on, and we're going to expand a little bit further. And because I do mine's very tailored to YouTube, and so we'll talk more about other ways that you can incorporate video, and then we'll bring it all together on the third day. So it'll be fun. So good stuff. Guess nobody really cared, but yeah. All right. What else we got? What else on the agenda? Okay, we got good dealer moment.
I do.
You ready for that?
I actually got emailed a.
Okay, you got that.
Shout out.
And say somebody on our Facebook page asked for your email.
Yep, this is from Brandon, one of our members.
Okay, let me put the slide up real quick.
Yes, the slide. Can't forget those fancy slides.
Yep. Need to make one on what's in the cup, right?
Brandon says, I want to recommend my local dealer for a dealer shout out for Tuesday. It's Medford Motors in Wisconsin. Salesman is Ken Zitlau. No pushy sales. Sold at MSRP. Great customer service. Highly recommended. And that is Ken Zitlau. I think I'm saying that right. At Medford Motors in Medford, Wisconsin. Right? WIS, Wisconsin? I think so.
I wonder
Yeah.
where that's at. We're in Wisconsin, weren't we, Niles?
We were in
The Dells.
yeah,
Dells.
Wisconsin Dells, weren't we?
Yeah.
Here, hang on. I got the location on the pictures from
Not too far.
Yeah. Hang on.
But yeah. So if you need a good dealer, Medford Motors in Wisconsin with Ken Zitlau.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Niles is looking up the location.
Yep. I was getting the Discord link.
All right.
We went off-roading in Tomah, but that's not exactly where we were.
No.
Yeah, Wisconsin Dells is the name of the place that we were at.
Yep. All right. Well, we can move on to scheduling notes, and I actually pre-recorded this just in case we're going to have some internet issues. So I'm going to go ahead and play that if we're ready for that. Y'all ready for that?
Yep.
Oh, we're ready.
All right. Well, let me see if I can get this to work right. Did I just hit play? Nope, that's not doing that. Hold on. All right. Now let's try this. All right, so let's go ahead and get in here. We're going to talk this week. I'm actually on the location here at the conference, so I'm recording this real quick for us for tonight, just in case there's any issues on our live stream. So hopefully you guys are you get a lot of information from this, but let's go ahead and dive in. First, let's get into, before we get into scheduling, we are going to be talking about scheduling, and that is just for this week. And this week is the last week of April's allocations to be used for June production dates. So we still have one more week before we start talking about July's production dates being scheduled and using May's allocations. Dealers won't know those numbers final until the end of this week. So let's go ahead and dive in here and first talk about some of the different terminology we'll talk about. So the order banks, that's what we're talking about. The orders are placed in an order bank by the dealer. So you're ordering from the dealer. Those orders are placed as either a stock or a retail order. Retail orders are those customer placed orders, whereas the stock order is an order that's placed for stock or lot inventory. Now, a priority code is given to every order. It can be anywhere on a retail from a 0. They've actually updated this 03 through a 19. Lower the better. And so the default is a 19. So if you see your orders a 19, it's not the dealer said, nope, I don't want to prioritize your order. That's just the default. So you can go in and you can ask them. It's up to them how they want to stack their orders. Some will actually put some as an 03, some as a 10, that kind of thing. And their stock orders, when they place somewhere, it can be anywhere from a 20 to 80. A lot of times, again, 80 is the default, but if a dealer is saying, hey, I really need some of these stock ones real bad, then they'll turn some of those into 20s to help them get scheduled a little faster. Now the priority scheduling, that is what we're going to talk about here, and that's where Ford is scheduling those orders for production dates and future months. We're talking about today, they're scheduled this week for a lot of days in June. Production dates. So they schedule ahead of time. Allocations, Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. So that's how they choose which orders are scheduled. So a dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in their order bank. Just because they have a retail order in there or 2 or 3 doesn't mean they're automatically going to get scheduled and get produced at certain times. They need to get those allocations to get those scheduled. So dealer earns those allocations by their sales of each model within their region, and that is actually going to start rolling out to being statewide instead of based by the region. Constraints, that is where an option is in short supply or may take longer to build. Capacity kind of works into that, the planned production rate for a motor, trim, or option. So if the capacity is a certain level, but the supplier is not giving them what they plan to, that can cause a constraint and take longer for your order to get scheduled for production dates. Or another thing that can take a little bit longer
is them not having allocations to be able to fulfill your order yet. Job 1 and 2, Ford will run them in 2 different production runs because if they want to introduce something new or whatever, like they did with the Bronco last week and the Ranger with the new 2.7 liter, they can do that halfway through the year and not wait until the next model year to introduce that. And then balance out, that is the end of production or the balance out for a particular vehicle produced, like an option or something like Edge is now balanced out, that kind of thing. So there you go. So let's jump in here and start talking about what's scheduled for this week, starting with the 2024 model year Mustang. So Mustang does have, let's see, the order banks are open up right now. You can order a Mustang. There's currently about, it looks like 870 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Again, probably not a lot of scheduling of retail orders last week because they didn't schedule last week, I believe. So there you go. And they're not scheduling this week either. So they've already planned for the production for the entire month of June. So they're not scheduled this week either. If a dealer had an order or an allocation that goes scheduled, then it'll get carried over to next month for that. Now, moving on to 24 model year Escape. Escape is the order banks are open up for the Escape as well. And they currently have only 380 unscheduled retail orders for the Escape this right now, so not too many. I don't think they scheduled last week, and they're not scheduled this week either. Again, they've already planned for their production run for June. Build dates, they're waiting for July, which will start again, like we mentioned, that'll start next week. So next is the 2024 Bronco Sport, and the Bronco Sport does have, looks like 165 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. And the order banks are open up right now for the Bronco Sport. And they are scheduling this week. So they are scheduled for the weeks of June 3rd through June 24th. This is cleanup scheduling. So cleanup scheduling, trying to fulfill those last allocations for dealers. They want to clean up those any allocations so that they don't carry over to the next month. At this point, they've pretty much already done retail orders. So this is for dealers that have stock orders probably for Bronco Sports and trying to get those allocations fulfilled. Here's the things for dealers to stay away from. First off, the limited availability items is the 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine, which is standard on the Badlands. Also, the Badlands is listed as well as the wheel that's on the Badlands. So really want to stay away from the Badlands probably if you're trying to get those allocations scheduled. Power moonroof, which is optional on the Big Bend, Heritage, freewheeling, and Outer Banks is also limited availability. Not completely out of the question, but I'd probably try to stay away from it. The 6-way power passenger seat, which is included in the Outer Banks and is part of the Outer Banks and the premium package. That is also limited availability. Now, exhausted availability for these items here, so probably try to find some other orders other than these, and that's the Big Bend version. That's the convenience package, which is optional on the Big Bend as well as on the freewheeling. The black appearance package, which is optional on the Big Bend. Also, the all-season tire that's standard on the Big Bend, and the wheel that is standard on the Big Bend, the 17-inch carbonized gray painted high gloss wheel, but also the wheel that's on the Outer Banks. It's optional, optional on the Badlands, that 17-inch carbonized gray painted low gloss wheel. Also, and then the tech package, which is optional on the Outer Banks. So if you're looking for something, you're needing those orders, dealers, and you need to fulfill those on the Bronco Sport, I'm probably looking at maybe a freewheeling, maybe a Heritage Edition, something like that. If you go, Big Bend is pretty constrained. Maybe Outer Banks without that tech package, that'd be a good option for you as well. That's a possibility that would probably work as well. So there you go. Next is a 24 model year Bronco. And let me go over here and see how many unscheduled we have. So on the 24 model year Bronco, we do have, sorry, I'm looking at 2 different sheets here. We have only 1,983 unscheduled retail orders for the Bronco. That is not that many. I've never seen it that low ever. So they're doing a good job there. Order banks are open up for all of them except for the Heritage and Heritage Limited Edition. Some people might ask, well, wait a minute, Peak Blue is a new color for the Heritage Limited. How's that going to be done? Well, that's because Heritage Limited is actually a stock order. A dealer earns an allocation for Heritage Limited. They put the stock order in with the Peak Blue. So if you're somebody that wants one of those, you know a dealer may be getting an allocation for Heritage Limited, you'll need to contact them and say, hey, I'd like to go with that Peak Blue. And I think that what their plan is that starting next week, they're going to actually schedule the Heritage Limiteds in Peak Blue. I think they're running them in different color options. But they are not scheduled this week. So they have everything scheduled out for June as of right now. So just know that. And I think next week is when the start is for Job 2. So get those orders in for Job 2 if you're looking to get one of those. Next is the 24 model year Mach-E. And let's see here, there's not that many unscheduled retail orders of the Mach-E, only 34. So we did have some put in recently. So only about 34 unscheduled retail orders on the Mach-E. Order banks are open up for the Mach-E, and now it is Job 2 is now open up for the Mach-E. Don't think there was really any significant changes that I saw. And we do cover some of those in a different video, on our live stream. So check those out if you're watching the recorded version of this, which this is recorded for a live stream for this week. But you'll want to make sure we'll cover those and those live streams. They are not scheduling this week. So again, they have already planned for the production for June. They are ready to move to July. So they're waiting one more week for that and for dealers to get all the information in. Next is a 24 model year Explorer. The 25 model year Explorer order banks are open up. So there's some people didn't realize that. There's 700 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the 25 model year. So that's evident right there that it is open up. They are not going to be scheduling this week though. So keep that in mind. We'll wait again for next week. 24 model year Expedition. And again, they are not scheduling this week. Order banks are open up for the 24 Expedition. And there's currently, looks like, only 419 unscheduled retail orders in order bank for the Expedition. So there you go. So next is a 24 model year Maverick. The Maverick order banks are open up. You can schedule those. There's currently only looks like 8,796 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Maverick. There's currently about 70% of those orders are hybrid, and about 59% of those are XL. So that's the biggest holdup right now on the Maverick. They are going to be scheduled this week. This is cleanup scheduling. So those dealerships that need to fulfill those last allocations, typically they probably already planned for all their retail orders that they plan. This would be for dealerships that maybe have allocations. They don't have retail orders. And so they have some stock, basically they'd call it stock allocations to be used. So those dealers need to probably listen to this and just know that here's the exhaust availabilities. If you want to fulfill those allocations, stay away from these. And that is the hybrid engine. Also, of course, front wheel drive. So what you'd be looking for, EcoBoost, all-wheel drive would be a nice one for you to do. XL trim is exhausted, so stay away from that. Also, black appearance package is exhausted. The modular drop-in liner, that's the one that's optional. And then the bed extender as well. And then the tire that's on the XL and XLT, the 225/65 R17. And then the tire that is on standard, or the wheel that's standard on the XLT, and that's a 17-inch carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel. So what you probably be looking for if you're wanting to fulfill those allocations, if you're a dealer out there, you don't have a retail order, try to go EcoBoost, maybe all-wheel drive as well. Try to stay away from XLT standard wheel. So if you don't want to go Lariat, look at the XLT. Maybe the FX4 package would get you a different wheel than the XLT standard wheel. So that's something to think about. And then stay away from that modular drop-in liner as well there for you. So, all right, next up is the 24 model year Ranger. The Ranger, the order banks are open up for the Ranger. In fact, we're on job 2 of the Ranger as well right now. And there's currently only 1,178 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Ranger. And the Ranger is not scheduling this week. So they're ready to move on. So like we have a Ranger Raptor allocation that was not fulfilled. So it'll probably get carried over to next month, and we'll get that allocation fulfilled next month. So that's kind of how that works sometimes. Next up is a 24 model year Super Duty. So the order banks are open up for the Super Duty right now, and there's currently, scroll down and get to it. There's currently 13,144 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Super Duty. The biggest holdup is that F450. 55% of those orders are the 19.5 inch Continental tire. That is the one that is standard on the F450. Also, 62% of those orders as well are the high output diesel engine too. So there's a couple big constraints, but let's go through this. They are scheduling this week. They're scheduling for production at Kentucky Truck Plant only for the weeks of 6/10 through the weeks of 6/24. They are calling this cleanup scheduling. So if you're any dealers that have a leftover allocation, like we have one still not fulfilled. So here are the notes if you want to get those last one fulfilled. They are needing orders, it says, and it's kind of in bold here. They are needing F250, 350 XL and Lariat orders with the 6.8 liter engine or the 6.7 liter engine without the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. That's 53W. Also, they need some F250 and 350 XL and Lariat orders with the 7.3 liter engine without the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. And then also says we encourage dealers to go ahead and place those orders with that spray and bed liner because they have plenty of capacity for that. Limited availability for the F600, for the crew cab series, all crew cabs it says. Also for the pickup box delete with the 6.8 liter engine. The lug nut cap, says that's available in the XL, XLT, Lariat, 4x4, F250, F350, single rear wheel, the 10.5 and 11.6 and 11.8 axles. Also the 10.5 axle that's available on the 6.8 liter F250, F350, or the 7.3 liter F250 single rear wheel pickup. Also the Dana axle rear that's optional F350 and the F350 dually with the 6.8 liter and the 7.3 liter engine, and then the multi-contour seat that's standard on the King Ranch Platinum and Limited is also limited, and then the headlights that's available on the Limited and the premium version. I think they mean Platinum version. That would be that the upgraded headlights. And then you got the 203-inch wheelbase, a fuel tank with the low sulfur diesel fuel. Also the Kirchhoff says console bracket that's standard on the King Ranch Platinum Limited, optional on XLT and Lariat, and the flow-through console, which is standard on King Ranch Platinum Limited, optional on the XLT, and also in most of the Lariats. And so keep in mind, these are just for this week. So if you're needing, basically what they're telling dealers with this information is these are limited availability. So if you want an order fulfilled, you want to make sure you have an order that doesn't have some of these things on there to fulfill those allocations, right? So that's kind of what they're talking about there. So, all right, next is the F-150, the 2024 model year. Order banks are open up for the F-150. And there's currently, let me pull that up. There's currently only 6,558 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Again, I say only because they make about 50,000 in a month. So that is not that many. And then, so here's some of the notes. If you have allocations as a dealership that need to be fulfilled, they are producing this week for the week of 6/24. So they need those. They are needing some trimmer 401A orders. That is not a bad property to have if you're a dealer out there with a stock that you need to fulfill. That's a great one. I think that's a great package and a great trim that I think will sell well for you. Also, let's see here. Material available. Okay, it says if your orders are not being selected for scheduling due to material availability as the reason code, please consider adding the tow haul package and the max tow axle to increase eligibility for your orders to be considered for scheduling. So that means if you have a tow haul package, you need to make sure you have the XL5, the 350, that's the 355 axle on the 3.5 gas, or the XL7 axle, which is a 373 axle on the 5.0. Those are electronic lockers for those. You need to make sure you have the max tow haul one. So the max axle is what they call it, max tow axle, I think. You want to make sure you have those. Now you notice what's not mentioned, the hybrid is not mentioned in there. So you don't need to worry about having that. If you're hybrid with the tow haul, that's going to be okay. And you can't get the tow haul in the 2.7. So that should cover all those engines. So also mentions the bed utility package is changing with production of the week of the 10th for those new tie down plates. We talked about that last week in our dealer news section of our live stream. And then also this change impacts bed utility package on XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, Trimmer, and Raptor. And then limit availability for the following options: the 5.0 liter V8 engine. Also, that mentions the dual exhaust that's on the 5.0, 3.5, or 2.7. So it's I think the dual exhaust is if you get the black appearance package, if I remember right. And then the 20-inch chrome wheels, that's optional on 302A, and it's included on the 303A as standard. That's included on 303A and then standard on the Lariat and King Ranch. And then also the tough bed spray and liner is also limited availability, so stay away from that. Next and last is the 24 model year Transit. So let's see, we have how many orders we have for the Transit. Let's see, we have 5,954 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Transit. Order banks are open up, and they are scheduled this week for the production week of 6/24. This is job 2 scheduling, it says. And then nothing else really. Says to check for your region for the different exhausted and best available things for that. So there's no notes in here, which is kind of weird. So, all right. So that is all that we have for scheduling for this week. And again, this goes into consideration just for this week as they try to fill in those holes for the rest of production for June. Next set of allocations go into effect next week. Dealership should have received their numbers. I think, I think tomorrow or the next day is the close of what they call wholesale for dealers, where they put in what they want. So we should know by Friday what our allocations numbers will look like starting for next week. If your dealers don't know that, that's fair. They probably don't. So maybe looking to talk to them on Monday for that. But next week will be the week that we start seeing for scheduling for production weeks in July. So you probably won't see a lot of scheduling this week, just those dealerships that have those last allocations they need fulfilled. And a lot of times those will be fulfilled with those stock orders. So anyway, all right. So that's all I have. So of course, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. If you're watching this as a recorded video on Wednesdays, if you're watching it live, Sarah, let's go ahead and take some questions.
Unmute.
I'm going to tell you, we have no questions.
Huh? We have no questions? All right.
No.
See y'all later. My battery is at like 48%. So if it goes out, we'll try to get through the topics and everything. And then if you need to end the quick Q&A, then that's fine. We'll go that route. But yeah, so it is 9 o'clock here. And I can't miss that bus. It's in 45 minutes. So we got to get through this stuff. So let's dive in. Do we have any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, let us move on to dealer news. There's only one thing that came out this week and then 2 recalls. So let me jump through those real quick.
All right.
Okay. So this in here is some dealer news that came out yesterday on the all-new Bronco off-rodeo Outpost retail experience. So what they're going to do is, Ford is going to be launching a new customer experience for Ford Bronco owners who want to advance their off-roading driving skills. Any Bronco owner can join expert off-rodeo trail guides for a curated on-trail learning experience in their Bronco on local trails. Ford will be sending out communications directly to Bronco owners starting May 8th. And then there is a link that they can go to that is live today. I'll pop that. I'll post that link in there. It's basically broncooffrodeo.com/outpost is the link. So I'm not able to copy the link in here. Anyway, so that should be live now. Cost is $5.95 plus tax. It gets you one person. It says expert on trail instruction, one accompanied guest, trail fees, lunch, and more. So some of the locations coming up is June 20th to the 22nd is Hungry Valley, California. June 30th to July 1st, Pacific Northwest. They probably don't have an actual location yet. August 18th to the 19th is Holly Oaks. I think that corresponds with the Woodward Dream Cruise, it looks like to me, which is crazy because last year they did Holly Oaks and it didn't cost extra. So that's actually, in my opinion, a little disappointing. But August 23rd to the 24th, Rock Run, Pennsylvania. October 24th to the 26th, Escondido Draw, Texas. Escondido. There you go. Sorry. Texas. November 7th to the 9th is Uwharrie National Forest, North Carolina. And I probably didn't say that right. So I apologize for mispronunciations. But that's kind of cool. So they're going to add different locations that are closer to you that you can go to for $5.95, which is pretty much how much an off-rodeo is. But instead of going to their off-rodeo locations, they come to you. So anyway, so that's different. So that's that. So that's the only dealer news I have. And yeah, so and then let's I guess move on to recalls. All right, this first recall is on the Maverick. We mentioned that was going to be coming out May 1st. We mentioned last week about this recall. So 22 to 24 model year Maverick vehicles. This has to do with the body control module, the BCM software update. We kind of mentioned that 238,662 vehicles could be affected by this. And this is the one I think they kind of came out and said and let dealers know that it was coming out. It says, in all of the affected vehicles, the body control module, or the BCM, current threshold was improperly calibrated and may falsely detect a current overload on one or both tail lamp circuits. This may cause one or both tail lamps to stop illuminating during a drive cycle. Tail lamp function will recover with a key cycle or manual cycle of the headlamp switch. This issue does not affect stop lamp, including center mount stoplight or the turn signal functions. So there you go. So it's evidently just the tail light itself, not the brake light and not the turn signal. So this isn't as bad as I think people really was like, oh, this is a huge problem. It sounds like to me, it is, during the night, but just by turning the vehicle off and turning it back on, it will recycle and should work. And that's if it happens. Otherwise, you can turn the headlights on and off and it should cycle through too. So they have instructions now how to fix it. So there is an EFC for dealers. It does say that the letters are going to go out to owners the week of May 13th, which is next week. And does say dealers should repair any affected vehicles that arrive at the dealership, whether or not they've received the letter. So if you want to get it done, want to get ahead of it, you can go and have that done. And the dealer should have instructions. They should be able to find instructions. And then the next one that I have is actually okay, so this is, in fact, I don't think I said what recall number that was on the Maverick. That was recall, safety recall 24S27. And this in here is a recall, which I've never seen this before, but it's a U. So it's update before sale. It says 24U06. So this is for 24 model year Bronco Sport Escape Explorer. It says keyless entry remote control replacement. So this program will be in effect through May 3rd of 2025 for unsold vehicles or up to 60 days post the warranty start date to allow sales reporting and claiming processing. So it says about 981 vehicles are affected by this, so less than 1,000. And it says, in all affected vehicles, customers may experience a loss of remote keyless entry functionality on one or both keyless entry remotes. In the diagnostic trouble code DTC-B10AB00 will be set in memory. So anyway, so they can go and have that taken care of. Letters will not be mailed out to this because this is basically, they're telling dealers to take care of this before delivery. So on these vehicles. So some of them, it actually does say are being done at the factory. It says some vehicles may be in process and being repaired at the plant. Monitor OASIS before opening an RO and or beginning a repair. So a lot of people don't realize this, but when the vehicles come in and they get inspected, one of the things they look for is recalls. So they're required to look for any recalls. And we cannot sell a vehicle without with an open recall. So when they go to put that in there for a delivery vehicle, they'll see that recall comes up and they'll take care of that before it's delivered. So they're supposed to replace those remotes. So, all right, that's the recalls. That's the dealer news updates. That's
All
that.
right.
Nice.
Quick.
And then we have, I do have an Is It True? I need to remember because I had a couple different ones and I want to remember that I get it right. So let me pull up my notes here real quick. We have any questions while I'm doing that?
Vol said he did receive an email that you referred to on May 1st. He also received a letter for 23S27.
Okay, that's that recall. So
Yep.
Okay. And there, by the way, too, in the link in the comments for those that are watching, I am leaving the website to be able to check for recalls on your vehicle. So you can go to ford.com/support/recalls-details/. And that's going to be in the comments or in the description of this video in the live stream. So you can always check that out. So.
All right. Just wanted to pull up this shout out. Zachary said he asked last week if we thought that his King Ranch F350 with pretty much all the options, MSRP 102K, you said it should. And then last Thursday, they scheduled it for a week of 624.
That's awesome. So again, it had to do with whether or not a dealer has an allocation, but let's say they're not. Like I said, we're almost all of our Super Dues are scheduled other than those 450s. So that's the big holdup on those. So anyway, all right. So for Is It True? Wrong slide. Anybody catch it? Anyway, so is it true that the 25 Ford Maverick is getting a midgate? So have you guys seen this out there? And I don't know if I can get any images pulled up or not, but so the Ford Maverick, I think Ford Authority posted it. There's a patent out for the Ford Maverick it doesn't say 25. Let me go back to there. Let's see if I can. I'll try to see if I can pull up a midgate. So let me see if I can find the patent. So there's a patent out that they filed for a patent to have this done. I might have to go back a little ways. Let me see if I can find it. Basically, the back wall of the Maverick, so the seats will be able to fold down, and the back wall that goes into the bed can be then opened up so you can take things through into the seats.
Like we saw in the thought process for one of the other electric vehicles.
Yes. Was it the Chevy?
I think so. They're electric
/ Avalanche.
I'll tell you this: bed covers just became more important than ever.
So what's funny about that is, yes, we did see that on one of the Chevys, and I always said that the electric Chevy looked just like an Avalanche to me, and then it had that it opened up, and I'm like, now it is like the Avalanche. So because that's what the Avalanche does. Now I can't find it. Anyway,
it was their concept truck in 23. We saw it, I think, in Chicago or New York. I want to say Chicago.
I
Yeah.
wasn't there.
So here you go.
Yeah, they released their concept truck, and I was like,
Could
Okay.
you imagine doing one of those like cab height bed toppers with that pass through bed like that? Could you imagine how much storage you could get? Imagine traveling with the woofers. Oh, the dogs would love that.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, let me
Just
see if I can get this to pull up.
oh man.
Yeah, I pulled it up on Ford Authority here.
All right, can you see it? Oh wait, I gotta add it.
There.
There you go. All right. So here it is on FordAuthority.com. Give them all the credit on this. So there's a patent filed for this. Just so I can get rid of these ads. I got like a Overland Addict ad. All right. So here's what it looks like. So that's just a surfboard that they're putting through there. So it's kind of showing that where you can put some smaller items in there, like lumber, that kind of stuff. Looks like through there. Anyway.
Yeah, they're
So
putting
then
surfboards, and I'm trying to get a German short hair pointer through there.
it looks like right there, there's a hinge.
Yeah.
Right where it says 34. So I don't know. I'm wondering because 46 is up there. If it looks like it folds down to the bed. So now you can see it down underneath the surfboard in that image. So it looks like it folds, like the back will fold down against the bed, and then
Yeah.
you just slide it in. So anyway, so the question is, will this be on the 25? And no, it won't. So here's the deal: is they're filing a patent now. It takes a long time for that to actually come through. So it might be something that they're trying to work towards. They got to file for the patent, and then they got to like test it and keep testing it and keep testing it. So this is not something that I see happening in the 25 model year.
This is not a final draft. This looks
well-
like it's a rough draft.
Well, here's the thing. Now, people might have forgotten, but it was about a year ago that they filed for the name of Maverick Lobo. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And Maverick Lightning, Maverick Thunder, right? So they wanted all three of those names and filed for that. That was a whole year ago, and we haven't seen a Lobo, a Thunder, or a Lightning. So it's gonna be a little while before we see something like this come to production. Because actually people are already asking me, sending me emails, hey, is this going to be in 25? And I'm like, no, they already have planned. They already know what they're doing in 25 model year. That's already done. It's in its work. It's in the works and everything else. So,
They would have to find new places for like the jack and other things that are back there currently, along with the tethers for infant car seats, because I know the tethers are on the metal part back there.
Yeah, there's a lot to go into that. And I'd like to see it as an option and not on all of them, because some people may not want that. Like you said, they have kids or whatever.
But it looks like they're getting the patent. Makes you wonder if the other truck that was, the concept truck has the patent for theirs.
I don't know. But anyway, so that's that. I mean, and we know that, so we know that we're probably getting some sort of sport truck. We're seeing it out in the wild. That one without the grill. It's got a grill. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the grill's up and down. And if you look closely, it's inset in with the Ford logo on it. And I think what they've done is that's just a spacer to fill that spot, that opening. And they're just testing the airflow in for the engine is what I think they're doing for performance more than they are the grill itself. They wouldn't have let that grill just be like that. They would have masked it like they did the rest of the vehicle. So that's my take on that as well. And we can talk about that. But, anyway.
The concept truck I'm thinking of is the Ram.
Oh, was it the Ram?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of
Atlantis.
Weird concept things. But anyway,
that's
that. Anyway, so there you go. So can't wait for more Maverick news and everything, but we're probably looking June at the earliest before we get anything. Hopefully they do like they did the year that they announced the Tremor, where they announce if they're going to announce a new truck like the sport truck, or maybe they'll call that Lobo. I don't know, and I really truly don't know what it'll be called, but I know they are going to be using that Lobo name in the F-150. So in 25 model year. So it could be that that name is introduced into the Maverick first and then to the F-150 later in the year. So we'll have to see, but we'll find out. Won't be too long. Just kidding. So, all right, let's get into the topic of the night, and so we can get rolling here.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to talk about this because there are a lot of people that will a lot of times asking, "Hey, when are they scheduling Raptors?" Or "Hey, I have an order with my dealer, and when am I going to get it scheduled?" And they ask a lot of those questions when it comes to those specialty builds, like the Raptor, like the Dark Horse, and such. So there are specialty builds where they're making a small production run that they get. We call them specialty, and that's usually it includes the Raptor name. So your Bronco Raptor, your Ranger Raptor, F-150 Raptor, Raptor R, the Dark Horse, those are all your specialty vehicles, and your technically even your Heritage Limited Edition is as well, those specialties. And I think on the Bronco, they're including the Heritage Edition. And so a lot of people will ask why I have that order in with my dealer, and they're telling me that, yes, the order's in, we should be getting your scheduled soon. Why is it not scheduling? And some people think that, well, like sometimes the dealer will say, you know what, they're not, the dealers will tell their customers they're not scheduling Raptors this month, or they're not scheduling Raptors this week. And that's not the case. And what it really means is they don't have an allocation for a Raptor. So allocations, again, like we've talked before, you can't get an order scheduled without an allocation. So when it comes to the Raptors, Dark Horse, and all those are separate allocations from the rest of the model. So when we get, when we see on the Bronco lineup, they'll give us our total allocations. It might be 8 Broncos, one of those being a Raptor. So it'll actually separate, here's the non-specialties and here are the Raptors. And they'll do that for us on all the models. So like this month, we actually had a Ranger Raptor allocation that didn't get fulfilled this month because they didn't schedule the last 2 weeks. So that will carry over for us till next month. So we'll have a Ranger Raptor allocation. But every dealer, that'll happen. So it doesn't really matter if you have orders in there. And I think a lot of people think, well, my dealer says that my order's in, I'm going to get an allocate, or I'll get scheduled. Not necessarily, because if that dealer doesn't get a lot of allocations, it could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It may never schedule, depending on how many allocations that they generally get. So like for us, we get an F-150, if not 2 or 3 F-150 Raptor allocations per month for us. So like this month, we had 3 Raptors, and we had Raptor R is actually separate from the regular Raptors even. And so we had 1 Raptor R and 3 F-150 Raptors. But there's some dealers that may not see an F-150 Raptor that month. We just sell a lot of them, so we get a lot of allocations. Same way on the Ranger, where if it's a smaller dealer, they may get 1 Ranger allocation for the entire production year because they don't sell a lot of Rangers or Raptors. So they may only get 1 or 2. So it could take several months for that to happen. So that's the conversation you need to have with your dealer and ask them, hey, how many orders do you have unscheduled for the Raptor? How many have you already had scheduled, and how many do you typically get per month? And that all those factors kind of go into whether or not you're going to see yours get scheduled, because a dealer could take 6, 10 Raptor orders, and they're just going to sit in that order bank. They may not all get scheduled that model year, because if they get 5 allocations for the year, but they have 10 orders, 5 of those won't get scheduled. They're just going to sit in there and they never get scheduled. So it's very important that you have that conversation with your dealer and find out, what's going to happen. And what we like to do, instead of putting the order in the system for that customer, is wait until we get an allocation. Then we like to place that order. And we know, who they are. Now, another thing you can do is place those orders in there for those Raptors. And then you can give them order numbers to know who was first and who was second, without having to go into each order and figure out the date that the order was submitted. So you can give it an R101, 100, R101, R102. So then okay, this is the first one that was entered. This is the second one. And then having a conversation with those customers and letting them know, because we've had some that we had a Raptor 37 order in for a long time. And because they were only scheduled at 30%, we were getting Raptor allocations and we were getting Raptors ordered or scheduled, but it was the regular, not the 37. So it took a couple months for our Raptor 37 to get scheduled. So that's kind of how that. I just kind of want to talk about that because a lot of people, I get a lot of questions about that almost every single week on the scheduling video, and I think it's an important conversation to have so people have that expectation of what's really happening. So does that dealer get that many Raptor allocations, and how long will it really take? And there's nobody knows, because we find that out like by Friday. We should find out what we're getting for this next month, but that's when that's going to happen. And like for us, we may know what they're giving us initially, but sometimes we ask for more, so we won't get the 100% numbers until like they've gone through and given all the dealerships, those, because some dealerships can say, you know what, I don't need, like we've actually had Bronco Raptors that we've said we don't need one because we don't have any orders. And we know that for us, if it's a stock Raptor, we're going to have to sell it under invoice for it to sell, just because they're overpriced right now. And so we'll actually say we don't want one. And so then that basically means that allocation is open up for somebody else in our region. If they want an extra one, then they might, oh, well, McArthur didn't take theirs, so you can have theirs. And they won't say McArthur. They'll say, oh, we actually do have one available that we can give you. And so that's called a supplement allocation. So we always ask for those, for our Mavericks, but nobody turns down Mavericks. So, but that's kind of how that works. And I just want to make sure I explain that. And if anybody's got questions on that, we can answer that. But that's kind of how that works. You hear me?
Yeah.
What's the ETA on that bus?
The bus. What bus?
I thought you said you had to get on a bus later.
Oh, for tomorrow.
No, the bus is leaving here. I don't know. I gotta look. What's the schedule?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, I thought
it leaves here. It leaves from the camp to take me to my bed.
Leaves from there to take you to your bed.
I thought he said he had to get on a bus soon.
So if I miss that bus, then I'm gonna have it. I don't know if anybody does Uber around here.
Not Douglas is 9:45.
Oh, actually, it says 10. It says one's going to the other. Oh, so one's 10:45. I still got an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, right now they're doing a silent disco. I guess everybody puts headphones on and then you dance. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all the rage now.
It's not me. So you guys got questions? Let me have them. Niles might need to go to bed.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Actually, I'm at one of these cabins and there's a bed right here. I could take a nap. My problem is I probably sleep clear through and then we wake up. I'm like, oh wait.
Yeah.
Next morning. No questions tonight?
Let's see.
Is there anybody in here tonight? Is anybody watching?
So we have 75 people in here. Anyway, so Zachary asked, so I work at a Ford dealership. Some dealerships are honest and will tell you how it is. What would you suggest if you're in a situation with specialties and the dealer just giving you nonsense?
That's hard because it really is. I mean, the management, the dealers, the sales managers and all that, they can decide to do how they want to, right? We don't like, we're kind of like, hey, that's fine. We'll share with you that we have this many allocations each month, but some dealers don't want to because they don't want a chance that you'll take that order somewhere else. Right. And so they want to earn your business and sell you the vehicle, even if they are like, okay, well, we only get like one allocation a month or whatever, and they might have 2 or 3 orders. They don't want them to go somewhere else, so they might not tell them. Well, we don't know how many we're getting, but that is up to if you're a salesperson at that dealership, your management still. I mean, it's still. You have to have that buy-in from your management to be able to tell you that. So, I mean, that's the hard part. So that's just a discussion you have to have with your sales managers, because I can't, you know, that's a hard one. So we like to be transparent with our customers and let them know and keep that expectations that it could be a while. We have 4 orders in for the Raptor, Ranger Raptor, and we have 1 allocation this month, you know, and being able to tell those people. I mean, we've had a conversation. I mean, I know Dan's had some customers on a Maverick, and he goes, they have an order in. What's the ETA and getting it scheduled? And I said, Dan, to be honest, like it's a couple of weeks ago before they told us about the new methodology for the allocations. I told him, I said, to be honest, we may not get it scheduled because we're not getting any allocations, because they've said we've already gotten our allocations for the year, which is fair, because what they're doing is now they're focusing on the smaller dealers and giving them the allocations to fulfill their carryover orders. And that's fair. You know, I get that. But coming up, then it came out that the allocation system will change for July's scheduling, which we're still like 2 months away from that. So I said, well, there is a chance that it could get scheduled for September or October. Well, we won't know that until we see those allocations that month. So, you know, having that expectations and letting the customers know that is it's really up to the dealership and the salespeople. But
because I've had people call in and go, okay, so what's my ETA if I order Super Duty with this, this, and this? What if I order it from you? Can you give me an ETA? And I usually have to go, I can't guarantee anything. It could be scheduled this week, and it's built, in 2 months, and you have it. Or it could take a while to schedule, and I can't tell you when it's going to happen.
Really, like I said, look.
And then they go, well, I appreciate that. That's a really good transparency. Thank you. Because my dealer's saying 6 weeks. Like, it's going to be scheduled within 6 weeks. Done deal.
Well, but one thing we can do is we can look. Like when it comes to Bronco, I can tell somebody in a Bronco that if they put an order in, I could probably get it scheduled next week or the week after, because we know that the allocations reset for us. We're going to get about 8 allocations for Bronco next week. We have no retail orders in the system. So I know as soon as they start scheduling regular Broncos, it'll get scheduled more than likely. I mean, but I can't do that on all models, just like the F450, right? We don't know. So sometimes you just don't know. I mean, I really thought those F450s of ours would have gotten scheduled by now. I know. But, and that hasn't happened. So there's sometimes you just don't know, like you said. But sometimes, depending on the model, I can say, okay, it should be. We can probably get scheduled next week. And the biggest thing is having those orders in before the allocations start, because the first week of scheduling for the month, they're going to first schedule retails. So next week is when if a dealer has a Maverick allocations, they're going to schedule retails first, because they want to fill that up, and then if they can't fill in their other configurations, then they'll move to stock ones and give dealers. So what they usually will do is that first week will be retail onlys, and second week it'll be a mix of whatever they need to fulfill allocations of what they have. So that's the the kicker. But we know on Bronco, like they're all a little different. So Bronco, that first week is usually the specialty stuff, your Heritage Limited Editions, your Raptors, your Everglades. But the second week is regular. So again, it's one of those 2 weeks. But usually you can, but not all dealers are as educated as we are on how that works and being able to look at their orders and know that information. But so that's the hard part. Working in a dealership that is transparent and willing to give you that information, to give you the best guess they can. But sometimes like you said, it's almost impossible to figure that out. On a vehicle that, especially on something that's constrained, or maybe they have something in there that we tell them that they need to take off. So.
So that's what I have specifically on the topic. I do have a couple of dark horse F-150, scheduling questions here.
Okay. What else you got there?
So, why is there such a delay with the dark horse? I've been waiting for over 13 months. Someone mentioned, some of those options are, where are they? Not constrained. They're done.
They're not done. So some of those are, they're not scheduling because they're out of the supplier only gives them so many, and so they'll like, hey, we're not scheduling any carbon fiber interiors. I think that's one of them on Dark Horse.
Well, I think the black painted roof and the stripes balanced out.
Okay, yeah, black paint roof. Oh, I'm down to 5%. So I'm getting low. So here's the deal on Dark Horse 2 is, again, allocations. So we knew at the beginning of the model year that we were getting 5 Dark Horse allocations for the entire 18 months. So we knew we wouldn't get more than 1 allocation for a Dark Horse every about 3 months, right? So we know we would not get any for maybe a couple months before we'd get 1 allocation. So a lot of other dealers were the same way. So there was an 18-month, a lot of them got their number of allocations they're going to get for an 18-month production run. So 24 model year was like a year and a half of production that started last summer. So it's going to go through December. So it still could get scheduled, but again, that dealership, how many orders they have, how many allocations they're going to get, they have to weigh that, because if they're not going to fulfill them all, they need to tell those people.
All right.
Right. That's where having that person in line is very important. So.
Yep.
Right.
I have a question. My new Ford Ranger was built 321, and I know it's built, but no truck yet. The dealer looked it up, and it's on hold for quality control, and that can happen. That is very common, especially with Ranger right now. They're just trying to make sure they're getting quality vehicles out to us, making sure that all batches of parts are good and solid, ready to go, so they don't have to do as many recalls.
Yep, that's exactly right. We have 3, or at least 2 Ranger Raptors that are built, and we're getting the same message on ours. So our first one, there's dealerships that have received theirs, and our first one is still on quality hold and hasn't been shipped out. So that's like you said, exactly. They want to make sure that that's quality. Like F-150, there's a bunch of them that were waiting. They were having issues with the headlights on like the Lariat, Platinum, and King Ranch. So they sat because they wanted to make sure they were good before they shipped them out. So they're having some headlight issues that they didn't tell us. But now they're shipping really fast. So when they're probably going to check over all those Rangers, especially those early ones, they're going to check each one of them over really good, because they don't want to have any issues. They don't want to hear about a bad. We had that happen on some Lincoln products in the past, and the Explorer back in 21, I think it was a terrible launch. And so, yeah, we want to make sure it's good, because they don't want to hear any of that. So,
yeah.
All right. Next.
Still not scheduled for my F-150 Lariat Power Boost, so I'm thinking outside the box and ordered from the second biggest volume dealer in the U.S. 6 weeks on the lot from order. Wish me luck. Oh, I thought that was a question. I'm sorry. And then which Bronco model does the 2.7 liter motor come in?
Any of them.
Any of them?
The Wild Track is standard, the 2.7, but any of the models. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. I don't think the Big Ben you can get the 2.7, but I think the others you can. I would say right now, if you're trying to get scheduled quickly, Outer Banks is not scheduled in 2.7 this month coming up. So that'd be the only constraint, but all of them can get the 2.7. Other than that, I'd have to look back, but I think the Big Ben this year can't get the 2.7, and I think there's one Badlands configuration you can't get the 2.7. I can't remember if it's 4-door.
Everglades, no.
Everglades cannot either. That's right. Everglades cannot. So Wild Track, it's standard. Badlands, you can get it in. There is certain configuration requirements on the Badlands, I think.
Yeah.
Outer Banks can get it, but I heard that Outer Banks, it's on them for some reason. They're saying stay away from it this month. It may not schedule. And then Black Diamond can get it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can get it on you can't order a Heritage Edition. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, and I think I'd have to look back, because it's been a while since I did those videos, but I think the Big Ben can't get it for this year.
Yeah.
And I would tell you this, that 2.3 liter, it's a pretty powerful engine. And if you can, in fact, I'm thinking about doing this, and I don't know, but you can put a performance pack on that and really increases the performance of that too. I mean, you'd be surprised with the 2.3 with the performance pack on it. and then even add a cold air intake. Whew, I mean that's a good. It's more than capable. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Douglas has the numbers there. 315 horsepower with the performance pack,
Yeah.
which I'm looking at it. I'm tempted because if you get the performance pack, and then if I ever want to upgrade the front locker, then I already have the performance pack, and then I can change the gear ratio up if I want to. So
Yeah.
anyway,
All right, those were all the questions I have. Oh wait, can you factory order a 24 Lightning? If not, how can you build one to your liking? You cannot order. You go to Ford's Build and Buy, and there you can somewhat build it out, but choose the options that you want, and from there it shows you which dealerships in your area will be able to get that vehicle.
yep. So you can't technically build it to your liking, but it's pretty darn close. They'll have about every configuration. They've minimalized what you can add, so you can't add all those bed things onto it. But check out our live stream last week, or better yet, the video that I had go live Friday, and we went through it in that video.
Yep.
So that was our topic last week.
Yes.
So yep. So check that out, and we broke it down
Those
there.
were all of our questions. So, and you
All right.
are running out of battery power.
Yep, I'm down to 15%. So it's just it took it down to it took my my display. That's why it looks darker. So yeah, 15%. So anyway, I saw your mama in here,
Yep.
so I'll have to call her
She was
later.
in here for a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't have anything else,
I don't have anything.
No.
all right.
So what did you have in your cup?
I had sweet tea in my cup this whole time. I'm from Texas. I have to have it.
That's a Chick-fil-A cup? Yeah, it could have been. Yeah. They thought it was root beer because that's what I get in my Chick-fil-A cup.
Oh yeah.
They have a really good frozen lemonade that Barbara likes as well.
Is the Bronco Badlands named after the national park or the movie 1973 crime drama starring Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek?
I think after the Badlands area.
Yeah.
Just like Big Bend and Outer Banks, they're all named after that. And then Everglades.
Those areas.
Those areas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Yep. But by the way, I do have some stuff for my personal channel. I have some stuff coming from IAG. They sent me new struts. So if any of you have any issues with the IG products, reach out to them and they'll send you replacement products. So they watched my video on my top going up. I did it when I did it that one morning, and they kind of didn't want to go up. And so they sent me new struts to replace. So I'll be doing a video on that. And also my dome lights as well. They have a wiring that I can now wire that up to the button, which has been the only downfall I've had to that. So I'll be doing an update. They're sending me that as well.
Nice.
And so I'll be doing an updated video installing that and showing how easy it is. Because I know that there are some companies out there that wire it to the backlight straight in. And so they said, well, you should use this one because IAG's doesn't have it to where it turns on with a switch. Well, now they do. So I'm going to highlight that. So I'll be doing a couple videos on that here coming up when I get those and get it installed. So
Brandon Jones asked, any particular reason why my Mav is hanging out in KC for so long? I mean, the length of time it's been in KC is pretty normal. They usually sit for about a week, sometimes a week and a half before they come in.
Well, we know there is a backlog there. They did tell us that on the meeting last week?
Yeah.
They said there's a backlog because there was some hail damage there. And so they're probably trying to figure out which vehicles that they can go ahead and ship out, which ones they can't. So because of that, there's been a backlog there. Yours was on the train when the hail came through. So I don't believe it has hail damage or anything, but it's probably getting, just having issues with it because of that. So that tends to happen sometimes, at those.
Yeah. Ronnie says his F-150's been sitting out there for 2 months. It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
The 2.3 engine, is that the same in the Ranger? Can you tune that as well?
The Ranger 2.7, you should be able to.
2.7. It's not the 2.3, it's the 2.7.
Yeah.
And you should be able to tune that.
Yeah.
Okay?
So you can get a tune for the 2.3 and the 2.7. Now I know for the Bronco you can, and I assume the Ranger will be the same. So.
All right.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
No, I'm seeing unless someone pops in a question real quick.
Then better hurry before my battery dies.
I'm going to
All
drop
right.
my email in the chat just in case anyone has any
Yep.
aftermarket related stuff.
Drop it.
Yep. Do that.
Yeah.
Any
Do
questions
you have
about
any?
aftermarket? Email him.
Yeah. If there's something that you need to talk to me about or get a hold of me and ask some questions, shoot me an email and I can do some homework tomorrow for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you get the 2.7 in a Bronco?
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Okay.
Which model Bronco? So we figured that out. It was like you can get it in the Black Diamond, you can get it in the Outer Banks, you can get it in the Badlands. It's standard on the Wild Track, and then of the ones that you can order right now, that's it.
Yeah. But if you
And
find a Heritage,
yeah, Heritage Edition can get it, but you can't order one of those now.
right? So you'd have to
So-
find one with it on the lot.
Yep. So the Big Bend, I don't believe this year you can. That was one of the changes. And there is the Badlands, there's some requirement on that you can, like, I can't remember. It's like either it's 2-door or 4-door, one of them you can't. It's really weird. You can't. Of course, you can't get it with the manual transmission, of course. But outside of that, there were some other stipulations. But
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you
All
go.
right. Let's see. All right. I think
Okay.
we can call it.
All right. Well, thanks guys very much. And I guess we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Stay positive, be kind to one another,
And be kind to yourself.
and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. If I can find the ending. Here we go.